Ma Dong Seok uses the name Don Lee in Hollywood in consideration of people who can't seem to pronounce Ma Dong Seok. So I'm going to use those two names interchangeably. He certainly isn't the first homegrown Korean actor, home being Korea. He's not the first homegrown actor who made it big in Hollywood. Lee Byunghun is probably the most successful homegrown actor to make it in Hollywood. He played Storm Shadow for G.I. Joe, and then he did several other movies like Magnificent Seven. Then there is Rain, or B. He's actually a Korean pop superstar, and he was the lead actor for Ninja Assassins. So it's an elite club. Contrary to the big guns that you're seeing with Ma Dong Seok right now, when he was a little kid in America, he was actually teased for being the skinny Asian kid. So to fight that off, he actually started working out, and he worked out and he became that big as you see him right now. So big that he actually became a personal trainer to a lot of professional athletes. And I think it was this year when he was challenged by The Rock to an arm wrestling. I don't know if he has accepted the challenge yet.
And the picture that Korean George just showed me, you look like a badass and your arm looks crazy big. I don't know if I would win, but I'm happy to try and arm wrestle you.
He started his career as an actor in Korea more than a decade ago, and if you look at his filmography, he has not had any year where he was not doing multiple movies. So he is one of the most, he is one of the busiest Korean actors in Korea. Oddly enough though, he wasn't really a very popular one. He was given supporting roles, and I think that can be credited to the fact that the way that he looks, this is not what Koreans would consider to be good looking. Good looking ones would be Yoon Bin, Won Bin, K-pop superstars, Song Joong Ki, essentially guys with very soft features. And Don Lee doesn't have soft features. He's very rough, and they don't like that. They don't like his physique. I mean, when I say don't like, this is not what they would consider to be an attractive male in Korea. They like their men lean, muscular but lean. So he was essentially very much in demand to play supporting roles. It wasn't until the success of Train to Busan did people start paying attention to him. As we all know by now, he played the role of a husband, a very caring and soft-spoken husband to his pregnant wife. So since then, he sort of started getting bigger breaks in Korea. And I mean, he was headlining movies. However, he was widely criticized for playing the same role. He would either be a big guy with a soft heart, or a big guy who would come barreling into the world of crimes, or a cop that would knock out people with a single punch. But I don't think that is a very accurate thing to say. I would say that Ma Dong Seok is one of the most prolific actors in Korea. You can throw any kind of role into him and he would play it with dignity. He would play it very, very well. In fact, he has played the role of a serial killer, a cop, a gangster, an ordinary family guy, a teacher, and he pulled off each of those roles magnificently. So if you want to see more of Don Lee or Ma Dong Seok, here are 5 movies that I would recommend. The Bros is a 2017 South Korean comedy movie, and he played the role of Seok-bong, who is actually a poor teacher who has absolutely no interest in having a relationship with his younger brother. But he had to when their father died. Deep in debt, Seok-bong realized that he can probably make money selling some of the stuff that his father left behind for the two of them.
터진다, 우리 터져. 이게 오리에?
이 현판으로 말씀드릴 것 같은데.
그럼 이거 얼마 정도 할까요?
Comedy is actually not something new for Ma Dong Seok. He's done a lot in the past, but Maybe he has already been honed by many years of acting. But in this movie, he's just, in terms of comedic timing and how effortless it is for him to play a role like this, he just stands out. It's almost hard to pinpoint when he's acting. It feels like comedy is just so natural to him in this movie that you do not actually get distracted by the big guns that he has. It seems like he was able to make it a part of his character. Plus, the progression of the narrative is just really good. So watch that. The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil. This is a movie of a gangster and a cop teaming up to chase a serial killer, but not necessarily for selfless reasons. Several months ago, Sylvester Stallone already announced that they are going to do a Hollywood remake of this movie, and Ma Dong Seok is going to reprise his original role and will also be a producer for the movie.
나한테 정보 다 넘기고 조폭답게 네 일이나 해.
우리 애들 쓰고 진행비도 내가 돼.
마지막이는?
뭐 먼저 잡는 사람이 갖는 거지. 오케이, 콜.
깡패가 형사랑 악마를 잡는다.
Many people feel that this is like a staple for him. The role that he played here is a staple for him. Maybe so, but it doesn't make his acting any less great. If you've seen a lot of his movies in the past, you will actually notice how he's able to put a unique touch in every of the character that he plays, regardless of how similar the role is to his previous roles. In Murderer, Ma Dong Seok plays the role of a serial killer. Because there's not a lot of lines, there's not a lot of talking in the movie, Ma Dong Seok actually had to rely on his eyes to do the talking for him. And he was able to make you feel whatever it is that he wants you to feel. You get scared exactly when he wants to scare you. You get confused when he wants you to get confused. You get disgusted when he wants to disgust you. And it's all on the eyes. There's not a whole lot of dialogues and lines in there. In Derailed, Ma Dong Seok played the role of Yong Sok, a middle-aged man who was seduced by a very young girl to a motel. When Yong Sok realizes that he was being set up, he decided to take her as a hostage and turn the tables around.
너 꼭 지켜준다고? 가영이 어딨어?
돈 갖고 와 그럼 풀어줄게. 아이고 우리 지은이 있었네 아직. 자, 선배가. 여보세요.
나의 진일이.
너 뭐 하는 거야 지금? 너 우리 지은이 건들면 내.
I think what's interesting in this movie is how deceptive his character is. You really do not know if he pre-planned everything or if he was just a victim and got scared. That's why he decided to do what he did. But this is a perfect example on the depth of Ma Dong Seok as an actor. Along with the Gods is a fantasy action film directed by Kim Young-hwa and is actually based on a webtoon. This is about how 3 Grim Reapers guide a soul to the underworld. Ma Dong Seok plays the role of God of the house and is in charge of recovering memories.
죽사람 박준삼을 저승으로 데려와라.
너 나 몰라? 응? 야, 내가 너네들 천년 전에 쳐 죽을 때 저승차사였어.
그러면 우리를 직접 저승으로 데려갔다는 거야?
아니 그리고 넌 무릎을 꿇고 반말을 하니? 이게 무슨 경우야? 잘 들어.
Ma Dong Seok roles are usually the ones where he needs to exert physical strength. Whether he's a good character or a bad character, it would always be based on his physical strength. Here, he was actually able to show a different side of him as an actor. While the 3 Grim Reapers are all about taking the soul of this person or guiding him through the underworld, this time it is Ma Dong Seok who plays the role of somebody who nurtures, somebody who shows kindness, and so it's a different facet of his skill as an actor. There's many other movies that I would recommend. There's Bad Guys, The Chronicles of Evil, one-on-one, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, and The Mayor, and Nameless Gangster. But if you're just going to go through like a Ma Dong Seok one-on-one, then watch the five that I mentioned. So I think it's just interesting to note that the Korean homegrown actors that are making it big in Hollywood aren't necessarily the ones that Koreans would be betting on. It's not the typical, good-looking leading man that people are always clamoring for in Korea. And there you have it, Ma Dong Seok 101. Watch those movies as we wait for Gilgamesh.